What we are about to see in this video is literally a bucket list restaurant. Edible balloons, dinosaurs, flames above our heads, painting with food. All this by a chef who lost his tasting. Even getting on the waiting list is a challenge. Thousands sign up every week from every part of the world. If you have been watching Chef's Table on Netflix, this name will ring some bells. Because today we are visiting Alinea. Welcome to Chicago, home to deep dish pizza, Italian beef, Chicago Bulls, Al Capone, and even Han Solo, and Emily, who left for Paris. This is the third most populated city in the US, and the fifth where the Michelin guide was introduced. Alinea was amongst the first to receive a spot in the Little Red Book. And actually, it wasn't even one, but 3 stars right at first. The restaurant is located near Lincoln Park on North Halsted Street. This is a lovely neighborhood, and as I hear, it's one of the best in Chicago.
So this is the entrance?
Yes. It's completely discreet. There's no sign or anything. We're happy to have
That's
you.
why we didn't found it.
Yes. Of course.
Stepping inside, we are led through a narrow corridor. This is beautiful. Okay, this is unique. It's not an ordinary start, right? We are going to share this big table with other guests. I have never seen anything like this before, and I love it. In this restaurant, nothing is ever quite what it seems. As I look around, I notice a lot of small things. These hanging bows above our head, the stove, the flowers, this bucket. I'm looking for clues, but right now I only can suspect that there is something going on here. We will see. But what about the wine? Well, today is already about surprises, so let it be the same with the wine. I trust myself in the hands of the sommelier. I got my welcome drink in my hand, which is a rosé champagne. The mood is chill, I'm feeling good, and suddenly the show starts. With a quite heated opening act. Music, torches, fire, flames. Like I am in an arena. This little puff pastry that has been on the table since we arrived is now revealed. It has fresh spring flavors on it, like asparagus, asparagus puree, mora mushroom, and nasturtium pollen. And something else is coming. Squabs on skewers. And this is where those things above us step into the picture. They cook those squabs on the flames above us. I mean, it's pretty unusual, and I'm totally into it. Seems like I was right, and not everything is what it seems to be.
Sitting on the spawn at the center of the table is a salad that is made with apples, pears, hazelnut, and lavender. To begin this experience, I want you all to reach in, grab a salad, and enjoy.
The salad is basically a fruit salad with bright, vibrant flavors. It's nice and refreshing and wakes up our palate. The squab is just perfect. It's smoky and literally melts in your mouth. Interesting that the pastry and the squab are very warm and soft. Then comes the salad, which is exactly the opposite. Cold and crunchy. I love the contrast. This is a strong opening act.
This is the best store I have ever experienced.
If the entree was this strong, I wonder if they can maintain this level. As I mentioned, I love sharing the table. I already found a chat partner and I feel really comfortable. After all, dining is a big part of social life.
The next presentation is equally as impactful because I get to take you into the kitchen. With that being said, stand up and follow me.
We arrive in the kitchen.
What we will have for you are flavors of Spain.
This is paella, sort of. Here, they serve it as a socarat, which is basically the bottom of the paella, where the rice is getting caramelized. And that's what we have here, with a little extra. Caramelized bombo rice, saffron, rabbit leg, and sofrito aioli. We also have an exciting drink with it, that blends some local flavors into the Spanish mood. Michigan apple cider mixed with Spanish brandy, manzanilla sherry, orange liquor, and a touch of saffron tincture. No joke, this is insanely good. This is real cooking with genuine flavors. Tastes exactly as it sounds, even better. I love it, I need more.
beautifully. I'm going to have you follow Ricardo back into the gallery. Thanks for coming in.
It's time to return to our table, but the whole room has changed. They did all this while we were eating that small thing. That's impressively quick. If the restaurant business ever goes down, they still could work at the Formula One stable. And if we are already talking about changing things, Alinea wasn't always like this. It originally opened in 2005. It got its start all at once in 2011, when Michelin was introduced here in Chicago. Currently, there is only one other 3-star in the city, since Grace closed in 2017. In 2016, Alinea also closed for a short duration. They remodeled the restaurant and came up with a whole new menu. In that same year, chef Achatz was featured in Chef's Table on Netflix. Not that it wasn't successful until then, but that surely was a nice timing, because in the same month, Alinea reopened its doors. And since then, it has become a real bucket list destination for half of the world. According to Crain's Chicago Business, in its opening year, Alinea made about 5 million. Today, this annual report shows approximately 25 million. That's with just a few tables. Incredible. It happens that sometimes with double seating, they have from 120 to 140 guests per night. 7 days a week, which is just insane. This restaurant is a machine. That's hard work for the whole team. Hats off. This year, Alinea celebrates its 20th birthday. Others would pop a bottle of champagne maybe, and that's it. But not Alinea, of course. They take the restaurant on a 1-year-long tour, and it will pop up in different cities. That's not a bad way to celebrate 2 decades of excellence.
Before you take your seats and get comfortable once more, we have one special dish, and we're here to build some suspense.
There is a big white can in front of each of us. We have to break the top open, and inside there is a tiny bite. There are proper instructions about how to do that.
I ask everyone to make a spear with their hand, and then punch straight down through the paper on top of the tube.
And after the breaking, we have to use a vanilla pod as a fishing rod.
There you go. Oh, we just pull it. There you go.
Okay, my bite is missing, so I need to use my trustworthy hands. This is Dungeness crab and toasted apple, and of course, that fragrant touch of vanilla.
Great flavors, creaminess, crunchiness, spiciness.
Everything is fantastic so far. I was just about to start getting thirsty, then this bottle of champagne arrived. A Millésime 2014 Grand Cru from Igli Ouvrier. The plate that arrives is something extraordinary.
For this course, we're going to focus on texture.
Beautiful piece, and it mimics the dish on it. Golden Cetro caviar sitting on mezcal crema, pineapple julep, and finger lime. You know, I don't really like when the restaurant does too much magic trick. Many times in those cases, the food itself is underwhelming, or the focus goes on the magic trick. But when the restaurant is magical, and yet they take the food seriously, that is what I live for. And I tell you, this restaurant is one of them.
This is in balance, really beautiful balance.
The pineapple is both sweet and a bit acidic, and fits so well to the caviar. I also like the feeling of the plate as I am holding it. It's like I am holding a handful of caviar in my hand. Absolutely brilliant dish. The caviar, by the way, is Regis Oba, which is owned by Thomas Keller, who was the former boss and mentor of chef Achatz. Actually, let's talk about him a bit. If it was a movie, it could start with based on true events. Achatz started at the Culinary Institute of America, then went through Charlie Trotter's kitchen, the French Laundry, and the Abbaye. That's an impressive resume, and at this point, he is only 21. Then in 2005, he was ready to open his own place, Alinea. Soon it was chosen as the best restaurant in the United States. He was unstoppable at this point. But like every great ride, this story has its ups and downs too. In 2007, Achatz was diagnosed with stage 4 tongue cancer.
At that point, they estimated the tumor was embedded inside the tongue, taking up about 3/4 of it.
Doctors told him that he will lose 3/4 of his tongue. He will lose a big chunk of his jaw, both sides of his neck, and even then, his chance for survival is only 30%. Not a number you would bet on. He decided to refuse this because he didn't want to live without being able to do what he loves. Then the University of Chicago showed up with an alternate solution. They suggested a treatment that only included chemo without surgery. The tumor started to shrink, but he lost his sense of tasting and smelling.
I lost all sense of taste. I couldn't taste for about a year and a half.
And the doctors couldn't guarantee he will get them back. One would think that such a terrible disaster breaks a man's career, but not his. He kept on cooking by memory and intuition. And this is when he realized the importance of his team. He was the Beethoven of cooking, even if it was just for a short while, because he stepped into the ring and eventually won the match. Just a few months later in the same year, he was declared cancer-free. He went on, and in the end he earned the 3 Michelin stars. Not only that, but a constant spot in the world's 50 best restaurants for years. If that's not inspiring, I don't know what is.
Each and every dish we tasted so far had this kind of feeling, I want more, I want more, I want more.
So, I am curious what's next. First, we have a 2023 Albarino, and then a plate I have never seen at any 3-star place, which just doesn't want to stop teetering. This is cantaloupe melon, cucumber pearls, toasted Marcona almonds, nasturtium leaves, and a sourdough cracker, a tribute to white gazpacho. The base is made of Marcona almond milk with hints of sherbet and tarragon. The almond has this kind of green flavor, and it is delicious. The whole dish is a bit more on the garlic side, but it's still beautiful.
This is the first dish, which is good. And when I'm going to finish it, I don't want more.
A bit heavy, and this portion is perfectly enough. Another wine arrives again from France by Chateau de Beaucastel. Every sip of it is rich and complex. What it pairs to is a fish course. A fillet of Arctic char marinated in bourbon and maple syrup mixture. It nicely builds up a certain sugar content on the outside, and it's also charred, so it kind of feels like a candy or a marshmallow. When you bite it, first it hits with complete sweetness, almost too much. But then suddenly a nice gentle bitterness arrives and balances it out. This is a really clever dish, I love it. And it turns out it's not over yet.
So how many restaurants do you think you've dined in throughout your YouTube career?
I have no idea.
No? Thousands? Hundreds?
A bit more than 100 3-star, probably, yes. But in overall, how many Michelin star restaurants I have?
The only reason I ask is because has the restaurant ever asked you to turn your plate upside down?
Nope.
You should turn your plate upside down.
This one?
Yeah, flip it over. Because part 2 of this course is hiding underneath and has been there the entire time.
It continues with flavors of Arctic char, but this time it features char roll. Those little pearls inside are Thai carrot pudding with smoked cream on top.
On here, you want to use that long spoon, dive down deep, try and get a little bit of everything with each bite.
It's smoky, it's sweet, it's popping, and I love it. This was a great surprise. Next up is a South African wine from the Sadie family. A nice and interesting pairing for an interesting dish. Let me ask you a question. Did you know that the largest dinosaur was found in Patagonia, South America? And it's actually displayed here in Chicago at the Field Museum. You learned something today, and I did too. Because the next dish is inspired by the fossils of Patagonia. You get a toolkit to excavate your own meal.
It's unusual.
A lot of tools for you. You're gonna work a bit for this one. I promise this is the only one.
We have an empanada on the side, filled with roasted red prawn, provolone cheese, potatoes, onions, and garlic. Under this large pile of soil is something we have to dig out. After doing more work that I'm okay with, we have this. A prawn head. It's like dry parchment paper full of flavors. It goes well with the green chimichurri on the side. The soil is also edible, if you wondered. It's made of brioche, sesame seeds, rosemary, and Lubian white beans. In the bones, we find a mixture of pureed rice, potatoes, and plantains, emulsified with some roasted bone marrow. And last but not least, a South American treat called pumita. Inside that leaf is a fried corn fritter filled with more red browns. I love this presentation. I mean, maybe you have to do a bit too much with it, but still, it's creative, it's exciting, and definitely unusual. And with all that, the flavors are there too. It's magic, but delicious magic. That's what I really love about this. The next wine is my type of wine, a Grand Cru from Burgundy. The wine is so good, but I still don't like the glasses. I think they take away from the experience. The dish is called Black Truffle Explosion. Basically a ravioli filled with truffle. Chef Achatz created it back when he was working at the French Laundry. It was so good that he kept it secret until he opened his own restaurant. Since then, it's kind of a signature dish here.
Therefore, just like chef, you will also keep your lips sealed, but for a very different reason, and that's because it is going to explode.
We are being told to keep our lips sealed after we take it in. I thought the explosion part means that it's strong in flavor or something. Looks like it's literally going to explode. Well, we only live once. Bring it on. Yes, it did explode, but I guess there never was such a pleasant explosion like this.
Super rich flavors, but the pasta is a little bit thick. You need to chew a little bit more than you want it to. But nice.
Sealing our lips was good advice. But if you don't want me to keep my lips sealed, hit the subscribe button and I promise I will keep talking for everyone's great joy. Right, back to the table. We find a potato dish in front of us.
What you're going to do is gently lift the glass bowl with one hand. There's the little pin sticking out. That pin you will pull gently out and down so that everything on the pin slides into the soup that's in the bowl. Once that has happened, you're going to drink it and eat the entire contents.
It has a slice of butter-poached black truffles on it, Danish butter, chives and Parmigiano. A nice play with temperatures, because it's partially warm and cool at the same time. Potato, butter and truffles are stronger triumvirate than Caesar, Pompeii and Crassus. It is what it sounds, but way more intense than you imagine. With the upcoming course, we are poured a glass of Giuseppe Quintarelli. Nice, strong, full-bodied wine. What comes with it is something similar. Char secreto. Char is basically Chinese barbecue pork. Cantonese style, to be exact. It is famous for its unique, vibrant red color and, of course, the sweet and savory flavors. This is a specially cut pork shoulder, marinated in fermented bean paste, soy sauce and honey, then glazed with maltose. It is served with jujube puree, which is Chinese date. There is also white onions, stir-fried with ginger, Okinawan sweet potato, and peeled, pickled, and finally grilled strawberries. It may sound weird. I bet you would rather eat your strawberries with cream instead of onions. But believe me, it works. And just when you think it's over, you are offered an antique candy dish. It's Magnolia oolong tea jam blended with beeswax and strawberry juice. Surprising, interesting, and delicious. For a less savory course, we get a real big wine. Vega Sicilia Unico 2012. Bullseye. Talking about booze, our main dish is Australian A5 Wagyu short rib. It is served with Okinawan sweet potato puree with red miso. Next to it is a turnip and eggplant puree, red plum base and a touch of Tosaka seaweed. And finally, dehydrated Okinawan sweet potato, ginger and soy. I mean, this is a beautiful dish in every aspect. And you have never seen me leaving a dish unfinished. But at this point, I am so full that I can't eat anymore. It's never happened to me. I am getting rusty. We are heading to the sweeter side of the menu. And it starts with a shot. It's a rhubarb soda. A good one. A nice interlude between the savory and sweet parts. For our grand final comes a wine that's just standard in the top tier. Chateau d'Yquem 2005. Then a massive plate arrives, something's about to happen. And there is a big chance you have already seen it. Because this is one of the most famous shows of this place and maybe the most unique dessert presentation ever. This is going to be the painting. First, blueberry snow, white chocolate mousse and dark chocolate ice cream. Then, 3 playful bites, blueberry bubble coffee cake, a ginger and orange cake, and finally, a key lime pie. I bet Pollock would be proud. Maybe it seems too much, weird or unreasonably elitist, but honestly, the flavors are there, it's beautiful, and it's a show that only adds to the experience. I really love it. Now would be the time for the petit fours. But if you think it's not going to be ordinary, you are damn right. It is another famous dish here. The balloon. Yes, that's right. That is an edible balloon. It is filled with helium and tastes like green apples and taffy. Yes, we had to breathe the helium.
Hello. I love this restaurant. I think it's really funny.
It is funny how breathing helium brings out the child from everyone. Brilliant closure that made us smile like little children. You don't need a better ending than that. Our total for today is $201. But that's because I only paid for the wine pairing. Sometimes restaurants are incredibly grateful and decide to invite me. But I have one rule. I always share my honest opinion, no matter what. And since we are in the USA and I genuinely enjoy the experience and I respect the people behind it, I left a really generous tip. And since we are talking about honest opinions, let me tell you what I really think about Alinea. If I had to sum up this restaurant with one word, it would be clever. It's playful, surprising, exciting, and keeps you interested all along. And not at the expense of the flavors. I had a bad jet lag, so I was really sleepy, but despite that, I still enjoyed it. The service was immaculate, perfect. Awesome people, real professionals. They clearly invest a lot in their staff. The atmosphere was great. The menu is creative, and thinking outside of the box is really sensible on the dishes. But food-wise, it's not always a 3-star experience in terms of complexity and sharpness. Is this a restaurant I want to come back to regularly? No, it isn't. But not because it isn't worth it. Quite the opposite. It's an experience, and regularity would ruin it. Although, as far as I know, they keep changing the interior and the menu. However, the design and the wine glasses should be taken to another level. But I can see the math behind it. All in all, one thing is for sure. I understand why it is a bucket list restaurant for so many. And that does it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, hit subscribe. See you next time.
You can call me stupid.